Welcome back, and the discussion continues.
We used to have Prince Amwetia, is the junior brother of the Ochihene.
Okay.
And then we used to have Lawyer Farouk. Do you know Lawyer Farouk?
I know Lawyer Farouk. He's with the sports.
Yes. And then this sports presenter is a sports presenter for one of the radio stations in Kumasi. I've forgotten his name. Is it Razak or something? Yeah, he has a nickname. And then there's also another lawyer, Bobby Satan. Bobby Satan is a lawyer around. It was quite a good team. We trashed the University of Science and Technology, then University of Science and Technology, University. We trashed them 4-0. I scored 3 goals, all from the penalty spot.
Defender.
Yes, all from the penalty spot.
I see.
In one match.
I'm sure if we had you still in the Black Stars, you would have been doing very well.
I should be a consultant in penalty taking.
I guess so.
We beat the University of Education, Winneba, 3-1. We beat Cape Coast University 3-1. We won the GUSA. And so we had to represent Ghana at the West Africa University Games. And that was my nightmare in football.
What happened?
You know, when we went there at that time, the Hamilton was hard. And the the Burkinabe decided to play a fast one on us. They decided to have the core of their national Olympic team
playing for
the university. And they are then gone for training in France and the next game. And the best player of the national team, the senior national team,
was there with
Olympic team, was their left winger.
Oh.
And I had an unpleasant duty of tackling him. Rasheedat, nightmare. This is a day I wouldn't want to talk. As I'm saying this, my very good friend and cousin, Daniel Welbeck, Masha, will be laughing at me. You know, they had been trashed in the volleyball competition, KNUST. They were representing Ghana in the volleyball. They had been trashed. But because of the way we beat them, they had hope in us to win the football tournament. When we started the game, the first 15 minutes was good. But after 15 minutes, I was finished. Blood was trickling from my nose because I'm a tan. And I could not breathe. And this guy gets the ball, turns the body, I follow, then he goes.
There was no energy
I
to
throw
continue.
my leg and he's off. We lost the first match, but subsequent matches we did well. And then we finally came to the football with the bronze.
Oh, okay.
But it was a very difficult experience. I will never forget it.
Now, I'm sure you're enjoying the show, but we'll just need to take a little bit of a sip of water. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to continue. Welcome back, and Honorable Lantey Vaderpuye certainly is giving us so much information than we are asking for.
When I was at the university, this is the commentating part. When I was a student in primary school, Joe Lantey's wife used to be my teacher at All Saints Anglican Primary School. So he used to come to school to pick her. And then when they come, we used to follow him, over to you, Joe Lantey, over to you, Joe Lantey, over to you, Joe Lantey. So the interest came. And then we had a visit to Legon. And then from there, we came to GBC. So that thing came up. So when I got to the university, Professor Kumado and Mr. Johnson, the Suman Johnson or something, used to do the commentary for us when we were doing sporting activities. Then one day, I think they all had lectures, athletics. And then I decided to do it.
Just like that?
Just like that. So when I started, after my event, I decided to do the commentary. Then when I was doing the Professor Mills, I said, wow, the late Professor Mills. What? You have a talent. I laughed it off. So those were the days when the football team decided to start recording their matches. House of Folk were going to play at Asante Kotoko in Kumasi. And then the then House of Folk management team chairman was Mr. Neti. Mr. Neti, I remember very well. He and one Mr. Fred Mills Fred Mills. He used to be travel and tour operator. So they came and asked me to come and do the commentary for them, as we wanted to record the match itself. So when I did the commentary, I think the commentary was played, the video was played on a network or something. So I was there when I got a call from one and said, look, we think you have a talent and you can develop it further. I ignored it because at that time, I had the opportunity of being recruited to work at VRA. I've written an application. That was when I was in the final year at the university. And I had a friend who was working it out for me. So the ambition to go and work there was there. Then one day, Professor Mills approached me.
Wow.
That GBC were doing a recruitment. That was the time when, after lectures, we used to play football on the football field with the Dons Club. Dons Club is the senior members of the university.
Okay.
The lecturers, they had a football club.
Okay.
And some of us were students, the final years, so we used to play with them.
Okay.
So he came to me and said, GBC were doing a recruitment. So he asked me to write an application. So I wrote the application on his car boot.
Wow.
And then he took it away. Then about a month's time, he called me and asked me to go and see Mr. Kofi Totobi-Kwachi.
Sure.
He was then the Minister of Information.
I see.
So I went to him. And then when I went to him, he said, I learned you have good talent and you have to go to GBC. So I've talked to the Director General of GBC, then
Wow.
Mr. George Mensah Aye.
Just like that.
So I went. And when I went, they said there was going to be an audition at the old drama studio where the National Theatre is now seated, just here. When I got there the following day, so many people, over 1,200 people, I remember. So we went to the auditioning. They were recruiting people for various news reading, presentation, DJing, commentating, and all those things. So I went through the auditioning and then left back to school. I was in school when I got a letter that I've been called for interview at GBC. So I went. That was 1989. I was in the final year then. So we were at that time in camp, preparing for the West Africa University Games. So I went to the interview and came back to school. So I had to close my mind. Then around November 89, I was called that I've been given an appointment, GBC Radio. In fact, initially not radio. When I was called, I went to GBC and was asked to choose between television and radio. And I don't know, by instinct, I opted for radio. I said I was interested in radio because I love radio commentary more than television commentary. Television commentary to me is boring. I love radio commentary, so I said radio. So it's okay, fine. But as soon as I went around February. I told them I was writing my final exam, so they said I should come after the exams. I went February. When I went February, I had not done my national service, so I was asked to go and do my national service. But then I registered for the national service already. So I thought I could use the employment as national service, so I went. So the whole from November to November 1990, I was doing national service, but I was a guest artist in GBC. I've been employed, but then they could not make my employment permanent.
Because of your national service.
So within that period, I was also called for 1 or 2 training. So I started first as a continuity announcer on GBC Radio 2. Then I was also doing presentation on the external service. Then one day, as a studio manager, I was also doing studio management. I was running the console. We went to the Accra Sports Stadium. I went with Nianum Thompson. Then just when the match was about to start, it was a match between Accra Suffolk and Vaderpuye. Just when the match was about to start, Nianum had an unpleasant attack. He had a problem with the tummy. So it's okay. You say you can do commentary, so you
step in.
So I stepped in. I thought I was going to do it for just about 5 minutes. Nianum was not coming, so I was forced to carry on. And I finished the whole 90 minutes.
How did you do it?
I can't tell you. Up to today, I don't know how I did it. So, it was a Sunday. Monday, when I got to the office, the director of radio was looking for me. He had come to leave a message. When I went, he said, sit down. Sat down. The late Kwesi Amuakon. He said, were you the one who did the commentary yesterday? I started shivering. Because I've been told GBC, if you do a program over the weekend, and Monday, after manager meeting, you are not called, then you are free. But when you are called, you should be sure you go to a sign injury. So when he called me, I went there. And said, congratulations. Wow.
Oh.
I said, oh. So you did a commentary. It was excellent. But we have to take you to a radio training school. I said, okay. And went to training school. Within 1 week, I was at a training school. Then came back. So that Sunday, the following Sunday, I was again asked to go and do commentary. So I did it with Nyanum Thompson. He did 30 minutes. I did 45. I did 15 minutes in the first 45. Then the second half, I started at 15 minutes. Then he came in to wrap up. So that was the beginning of the commentary. Then it became evident that I could not combine my work with a continuity department. We call it program operations department, with my job at the outside broadcasting and sports department. So finally, I had to be transferred from the continuity, the program operations department, to the outside broadcast fully.
I see.
And that was the time people like Tedua joined. So that time the outside broadcasting department had the late Kenamwa, who became my godfather.
I see.
Nyanum Thompson, Eric Beckham, the late Eric Beckham, wonderful commentator, wonderful voice, and wonderful people. It was quite good because wonderful people who are there, they're ready to teach you. I was also close to some of my senior members like Daniel J, like Felicia Japon, like Beatrice Edu, like Joyce Leanum, all those people, Daniel Shen, and the rest with the program. So they were helping me with the pronunciations, with the program operations department pronunciations and presentation style and all those things. And then with the OB sports department, Kenamwa and the rest were helping me. Kenamwa trained me specifically for ceremonial commentary. And I had a little bit of training from Nyanum Thompson and Rebecca for sports commentary. Along the line, Jolati ran courses for us. And then, so, Rasheedat, in short, that's the journey to the Lantey Vaderpuye sports presenter.
I see.
Sports presenter and sports commentator.
Sportsman.
I really say that my ability in sports commentating was as a result of my background in sports. When you know the sport, it makes your commentary much more easier. It makes your presentation much more easier. Yes, you can learn on the job, but you see, as in Europe, where the former sportsmen are encouraged to take up the commentating, it's always better because you appreciate and analyze things better than somebody who just learned the art.
I see. Wow. Thanks for this journey that you've taken us through. Now, in wrapping up our conversation, of course, now there's the craze of the local Premier League. There's also the craze of some of the foreign leagues. Now, are you inclined to any of the teams?
Looking at me, I always go for the best. Let me be frank with you, and today people will ask. Before I became a commentator, I used to be the general secretary of Accra House of Folk Supporters Union. And it's on paper that I inaugurated almost about 20-something chapters across the country.
Wow.
Oh, yes. I knew Ayibonte, Thomas Okan. I brought him into House of Folk Management. I made him a member of the welfare team together with, those are the days of Goody Van Le, Paul Kunke, and all those wonderful guys. My godfather in football management, Mr. Henry Quarte, he used to be a chairman of the chapters, and he used to be, I think now he's a patron or director of Accra House of Folk.
I see.
The brother of Mrs. Anna Enin. So we used to travel around the country to inaugurate chapters. We went out with the borders of Ghana to inaugurate chapters. But as soon as I became a commentator, I severed.
You have to be neutral.
Yeah. I became a professional. And let me place it on record. The only team supporters to have beaten me because they weren't happy with my commentary, House of Folk supporters.
They did what?
Oh, yeah. I received severe beating from them. They even damaged my car. There was a time when House of Folk management decided that they don't want me to touch a House of Folk, to talk about House of Folk on air, because they were not happy. And then I had unpleasant duty of also being attacked at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. As a Christian, when I'm going to do commentary, I trust myself in the morning to go to church.
Sure.
So I went to church in Kumasi. From my hotel, I went to church. The church delayed. I was in a boo-boo. So I decided to go to the stadium. I always want to get in the commentary box an hour before the match.
Sure.
So I tried to go to the stadium in my boo-boo. And I was mistaken to be one of the Ivorian supporters.
Oh, my God.
That Kotoko and Asek problem.
Oh.
And I was seriously attacked and beaten. When I was even doing the commentary, I still had blood all over me. But I had to do the commentary all the same.
True professional.
And let me say that, as we say this, it gave me memories of my very good friend and brother, the late Joe Kofi. Wonderful personality, and we worked together as a brother, together with Nino Tedua. We worked together. In fact, Joe Kofi wasn't supposed to do the commentary of that match in which he had an accident and died. I was scheduled to do that commentary. But then I was also scheduled to do commentary on the NDC Congress from the La Trade Fair. So I told Joe to go to Kumasi for me so that I could do the NDC Congress, because the Congress prolonged. So Joe accepted to go. And that is what, unfortunately, he was coming back and had an accident. So whenever I think about commentary, I think about Joe Kofi, and he's a good brother.
I see.
So, House of Folk, yes. But I can tell you for today, I was a founding member of Liberty Professionals. Together with Alhaji Sly, the late Cash, and on a sat down, talk about Liberty, right? So I was a founding member, and I've been part of Liberty up to today. When you talk about the foreign leagues, my darling team, the only one united in the world.
Oh, my word.
Manchester United.
I see.
I love Manchester United.
I see. So how have you been reacting to Fergie's retirement and everything?
You'd be surprised that yesterday watching him, I shed tears.
Really?
Yes. I didn't know all of a sudden the tears started streaming down my eyes. I couldn't believe that the man is going. I had a pleasant, and let me say, to me, it's historical, it's memorable duty of working at Old Trafford. One of those long vacations I went to this, I did a janitor work at Old Trafford, and I had a duty of meeting him one-on-one.
Wow.
And you can see the discipline in his work ethics. He's a pure professional, and he's a lively person. Even those of us who were cleaning the toilets and the rest, when he sees you like a father to everybody, he's a wonderful personality. No wonder you could see that in the planes. Those were the days of the Fabian Barthez, the Laurent Blancs, all these players. I used to see all of them driving to training and matches. I had a chance of sitting, working the day Manchester United were playing Boca Juniors in the friendly match. It was interesting match, wonderful match, and I enjoyed it. You see the light all over the place. You want to sleep at Old Trafford.
I see.
Trafford. So I love Manchester United. I also have a little spot for Barcelona because of their good football. I like good football, and in Italy, don't take me for this thing. It's not because I like red colors, I like AC Milan.
Wow.
I developed love for AC Milan during the days of Giorgio Conwea.
Oh, okay.
And the likes.
I see.
I've always admired Franco Baresi and also Paolo Maldini. These are wonderful players, and though the people used to call me Franco Baresi.
Wow.
And recently, but I all of a sudden changed from defense to striker. I saw, even when I used to play in the defense, some of the matches my coach put me at the right wing because of my speed. Some of the matches I come to the midfield. I also played 1 or 2 matches in the midfield, even for the second division team I was playing for. And 1 or 2 matches I played in the striking role because I used to fight a lot on the football field. The aggression, the speed was there. So no wonder after active football, I became a striker. So I've been playing very well. The first
I'm sure you're part of the Liberty Oldies team.
Yeah. The first Oldies league, I was a joint top scorer.
How many
And
goals
then
did you score?
the second one, I scored about 9 goals. The first one, I scored 13 goals.
Wow.
The second one, I scored about 9 goals. Today, and when we used to play for the Charismatic Churches League, I used to be a striker. That's why I started striking.
Wow.
And I remember that memorable Sule I scored Eddie Ansa.
The goalkeeper's
between
trainer.
my church, World Harvest Church, and Mount Calvary Cross.
Okay.
And it was a spectacular goal. Recently, during the Oldies League, I scored a wonderful goal against the former national team goalkeeper Saeed Ahmed. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, this is some of the things we have in the game. So it's quite now. I don't have too much time to be playing for the Liberty Oldies. No wonder the Liberty Oldies have so far we placed second in our zone in the top 6 league. We've lost 1, we drew 1. Unfortunately, I've not been too active. I'm hoping that the next match we'll be playing against Ashaman and they should watch out for me.
Wow. I'll be there myself. Are you going home or away? Are you going away or you play at home?
And the top 6 we are playing on neutral grounds.
Neutral grounds.
Yes.
So where will the match be? I'll be the first.
I think that
there.
I've heard we are playing possibly at Teshin.
That's
the 2
very
teams
close
are
to my
coming
house.
to Teshin.
I live in Tema, so
you come and watch me.
I will be there to watch you.
You
score
pay
your
a fee for watching me.
No problem. If I have to pay to watch
I've
you
so
score.
far not scored a goal. I missed a very good chance in the match against Newtown. They beat us 2-1. There was this ball from the right. I was too. It was like the ball, the goal Van Persie missed yesterday. Maybe I should have stopped the ball and placed it. But I decided to go for a hit. Like Ferdinand's goal. I just want to score like the way Ferdinand scored.
Oh, okay,
so I decided to hit and the ball just flew over.
Wow.
And that was when we were down 2-1. I scored that one. It could have been a 2-2 draw and it was painful. I always tell my people I let them down with that ball. I hope to make amends. It's going to be good. We've been so far. We try to get the old players together. Rasheedat, if there's one thing that I want all of us to do as a country, is to not to forget about old sportsmen and women. Not only footballers, the old sportsmen and women. The way we've neglected them, it's not good enough.
Not the best.
It's not the best at all. You see some of them and their situation is so critical, so bad. And this league is just to bring us together, to share our time, network, remember our old days and all those things. So some of them, other than that, some of them will stay indoors and die in their poverty, die in their loneliness. Because some of them, the things are so bad that they don't even want to come out for people to know them. Because if you see somebody like Anas Seidu, and today you don't see him the way you expect to see him, he himself he loses confidence and
he can't approach you.
Yeah, so the idea is to bring all of us together to be playing among ourselves, share our loneliness, share our joy, share those historical past reminiscence over the olden days, and then we can share our problems and our joy together. So far it's been good. What we are asking for is we need support. We need support to be able to get all this. Some of the athletes, some of the old volleyball stars, hockey stars, some of the hockey stars are privileged.
Yeah, sure.
Because there are people like Okojani and all these guys who have formed Veterans Club, Multisticks and all these old veterans hockey players club. They are always at the hockey pitch, so they play among themselves. That's why I have decided to also, together with Sunday Ibrahim, Seke Jemfi, Wile Kruchi and the rest, we decided to come together. The whole idea, I started this idea in 1999. When I went to convince the then Minister for Sport, E.T. Mensah, and the then Vice President, the late Professor Mills, to play. We played the first National Oldies Gala in Accra, 2 days gala we played in Accra, and from then we've continued. So we hope to do the best to sustain this Oldies League because it's spiritually, psychologically helped a lot of the old players to come out of their shells and now be out, share their problems with one another, so that socialize. It's wonderful. It's wonderful if you see them, and today they are playing. Unfortunately for us, some of the young ones who just finished playing football have virtually taken over the league.
Yeah, sure.
Some of them, the young ones who have just stopped playing, the 38, 40 years people have taken over the league now. So they are pushing some of us, the old ones, aside. Sometimes at my age, if I have to run against a 38-year-old guy,
it's tough.
sometimes it's tough. Yeah. It's not, because some of them just finished playing football. They got out of football just about 2-3 years ago, and you want them to be playing alongside Awulekwes and things. No. Some of them were people we virtually trained, and some of them are their father's age. So it's making it. So I want the officials, the executive, to sanitize it. We try to have just about 3 under 40, between 38 and 40 years in it, but it's still not helping. So maybe we now want to shift the age to 45 and above, so that we have pure oldies.
Sure.
What we are trying to do is we'll get our team to play the Northern Zone, the Ashanti region. We are now playing Greater Accra. We'll play Ashanti. We'll play Central. We'll play Western. Then we'll gather ourselves to play a national league.
Wow.
And every year, Liberty represents Ghana against Nigeria.
Yeah.
And it's a very wonderful game to see us playing against the JJ Okochas and all these players. It's good. It keeps the Ghana-Nigeria friendship on.
I like, sure. Unfortunately, we have run out of all of our time, if even not more. Honorable Lantey, Vaderpuye, we just want to say a very big thank you to you. This conversation certainly must continue, because there's certainly a lot that we still need to get to know.
Yes, there is a lot that we'll talk.
Of course.
Quite recently, I've not been too happy with the standard of commentating. I've not been too happy with the standard of sports reporting. I've not been too happy with the standard of sports presentation. But let me say, I'm not flattering you, and it's not because we are sitting here. You are doing good. Nat, my boy, is also doing quite good.
Thank
you. There is something basically about your outfit. I think they take your training very serious, and the period for you people to excel, to become a better person is quite good, quite appreciable than other people have seen. Some people who burst onto the scene 10, 15 years ago have either become stale or they're the same.
Sure.
But with your outfit, I see a lot of you developing faster. And let me commend you, you are doing well, but don't let it get into your head.
Thank you.
The danger for every sports presenter is when those people start telling you you are good. You become complacent and you flop.
Yeah.
So keep that at the back of your mind. Don't just think you have arrived. And that's the danger of most sports presenters. And 2, let me give you this caution.
Okay.
What has made Lantey was because I decided not to allow myself to be corrupted by the footballers, the football managers, and some of the sportsmen. They easily will corrupt you. So even people who are not fit to be megastars, you start calling them megastars.
Of course.
And that's the danger we face in this country. I have slept on the same bed with football players before. I go to a commentary, they do bad, I say it as it is. They play well, I say it as it is. Ezekalamu is an example, he will tell you. Stephen Appiah will tell you. And I don't allow my friendship to compromise my professional work. I say it as it is. You know the attack I talked about, the one I said Accra supporters attacked me.
They attacked
it was all about Osman Muhammadu.
Oh, okay.
It was one match he got almost about 10 chances in the match, and he blew it, and I didn't hide it. I said it. Osman Muhammadu is my boy. It's my very good brother, very good friend. And I told him personally, Osman, today you didn't do well. He accepted it. He said, next time me to be well. But I didn't know what somebody told the supporters. And I was seriously attacked. But that should not deter you. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And the sky is only the limit.
Thank you very much. My head is spinning, but like you said, we're just going to build on it. We haven't even gotten anywhere yet. We are yet to start, and we'll keep giving our best. Thank you very much for having us once again.
Thank you, Rasheedat.
Sometime, somewhere, we'll meet again soon.
Yes. I'm trying one of these days to come over to do commentary.
Wow.
I want to go through all the radio stations, do commentary for one radio station up there. I don't want to do for one radio station. People will say I'm biased. I'm a deputy minister now, so I belong to everybody.
Of course.
So anytime you want me to come, just call me. I will come and do
just
one of the matches. Let me come. But I don't appreciate the commentary you people do today with telephones. You lose the ambience of the match.
Exactly.
If you want me to do commentary, set up give my microphone, put the microphones out there, let the microphone pick the crowd effects, let it pick the ambience, and let me give you the commentary. Everybody sitting at home will laugh. Because my work is to paint the picture,
as it is,
the exact picture of what is happening to the listener out there, for him to feel as if he's at the stadium.
Exactly.
So if you give me a telephone,
it will be difficult.
You are clean the job.
We certainly will send you to the Accra Sports Stadium.
Thank you.
And have you set
if Kwasichum can pay me.
We will negotiate. That shouldn't be. We will negotiate.
He's my friend. He's still owing me from
word.
our days at the shop at Makola. We all used to sell at Makola.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's owing me.
He's
Tell
owing
him.
you. Okay,
he hasn't paid yet.
I'm sure he's heard it, so he's going to do payment. For all of you watching at home, thanks very much for your time. We'll be back same time, same place with another edition of Sporting Life. I've been doing today's edition with the Honorable Lantey Vaderpuye, Deputy Trade and Industry Minister. My name is Rasheedat. Kadiri. Do have yourselves a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.